other than that, I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't really a big fan of a lot of the movies, but I went off. I saw, both movies that J.J. Abrams directed, and I really liked the direction he went with, said movies.
But do you think how he directed the Star Trek movies is how the Star Wars movies should be done? And if he does a good job, do you think he will be directing more, or will this be a one-and-done opportunity for him and moving on?
I'm suggesting that, if this movie does as good as they hope, they should bring Abram back. There's another director/writer who I'd love to do at least one Star Wars movie, and, his name is Joss Whedon. I know you're sighing, but honestly, okay. I've been a fan of Joss Whedon since his days of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He also did, of course, Angel and Firefly.
Which was a phenomenal series that lasted only one season, which has absolutely angered a lot of people, myself included, who absolutely adore that series. Watch the movie afterwards. If you have not seen Firefly or Serenity, I tell you now, go to Netflix, find it now, and watch it. You will not regret that decision.
And I completely concur. I'm a big fan of that. And there's a large community of fans who are really big behind the show. And that's part of the reason why Joss Whedon really pushed to bring Serenity out, because it was his love letter to the fans.
And if anyone watches Big Bang Theory, I know it's probably not the same anyway, but Whedon!
Yeah, exactly. And, you know what? I'll probably talk about Big Bang Theory maybe in a later episode. We're not going to...
Definitely a later episode.
Because, right now, that's like a huge distraction right now.
Okay, well then here we'll stick with the one question. With Peter Mayhew, which plays Chewbacca, by the way, for those who don't know, with him aging, obviously getting older and more physically frail, as we've all seen, plus, Harrison Ford and the rest of them getting all up there, what do you think about their future in the franchise to come, and how much part do they actually play in Star Wars as of now?
Honestly, I think the whole reason why they're in these movies is kind of to open the door to the next generation of characters.
Familiarity. For those of us who
sadly, I've heard that Billy D. Williams, who I sort of have a love-hate relationship for, I probably will discuss that another time, but he was not in this movie, and unfortunately, we may never see him in the movie, because I believe he's like around 80 years old now.
He also has a disagreement with some of the ones who are there, but that's a whole new topic.
That's another kettle of fish. But I honestly think, there's been some discussion. One of the dark side characters, if you don't go on the IGN app that they have on like the PlayStation Network and everything, there's a show on there called Rebel Base, and they go off and they talk a lot about this. And they were speculating that there's a young man that seems to be a dark side character, and they suggested maybe this might be the son of Luke Skywalker. And they also have a African American who might I hate this. I'm trying to dance because I don't like being politically correct, but I don't want to sound racist. I know I'm kind of laughing at this, but there's a black actor in the movie, and someone's handing him a lightsaber, so he might be a Jedi as well. And there has been talk,
which is basically almost like a younger version of Mace Windu, which is very uplifting.
It might be uplifting. There's been some suggestion maybe he might be Lando's son, which I think in itself might be slightly racist, because there's only been 2 black characters in the entire history of Star Wars, and so to suggest that he might be the son of Lando Calrissian, or possibly some great grandson, great nephew of Mace Windu.
If he turns out to be on the dark side, Baltimore, lock your doors, board your windows. They are coming for you. But anyways, we all got blown away when we seen the double-sided lightsaber of Darth Maul. We didn't think they could do anything better. Now we're seeing the triple-bladed lightsaber.
That kind of, I don't know, sort of like a broadsword type
Absolutely. Deal. Do you think that this is the farthest they can go with the lightsaber, or are we expecting something even bigger?
Well, considering the history of lightsabers, which, I mean, if you go back to a lot of the comics, there's all sorts of things. I mean, they have, like, all funky-looking, types of lightsabers. Even they have this thing called a light whip.
Which is not anything like Wonder Woman's whip. Just to clarify,
okay, that's completely off topic. You really,
you know what? I like Wonder Woman. You say whip, I think Wonder Woman. You know what?
And that's not even a whip. That's a lasso.
Doesn't matter. It still works as a whip.
Catwoman is the character. From
now
DC.
You're going to make me think of Catwoman.
Yes, I'm going to make you think of Catwoman.
Well,
which is completely...
that's worth thinking about.
Okay then. But yeah, this is obviously, I mean, if you have seen some of this stuff, if you're aware of some of this stuff, this is not the furthest they could do. I would actually love to see, somewhere down the line, them actually showing, like, the lightsaber whip, or some of the other, swords where they actually had, like, a lightsaber with actually 3 blades. It's kind of with almost
like a trident.
Almost, well, not so much like a trident. It looks, the handle looks almost triangular, and out of each corner, a blade comes out.
Oh, that's actually kind of neat. It's kind of like something that. No, I can't think of any reference to that at this point.
Yeah. So I mean, that's great. I would love to see that sort of the thing. I mean, and there's so many, ideas. I mean, I think it goes, one of the things a lot of people have been talking about is how do these lightsabers and, their, laser guns and blasters and everything work? And honestly, I don't really care.
Oh,
it's
obviously
just they
not.
look cool.
No.
I mean, being to call them laser swords, I mean, maybe more like some sort of contain plasma, swords.
When you are a Star Wars fan, it doesn't matter how it works, why it works. All it matters is it works, it's on screen, and it's coming back this December for all of us to relive Star Wars over and over again for a whole new generation.
I agree. And, I mean, I have brought this up with you several times over the years.
Which I may have forgotten over the years.
You've probably forgotten. Actually, I'm looking back about maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6 years ago. They did the Star Wars in concert, and I remember you came with my wife and
I definitely remember that,
and I didn't want to go off and talk with it. And as you're very much aware, I hate people talking during movies or during concerts and stuff. So I text messaged you. And with just one message, and just repeating the phrase, I'm in my happy place.
So, to all those, though, he absolutely hates people talking during movies or anything. But he's okay with people texting during said movies.
Well, no, not so much during movies. During a concert, I'm fine with that. If you're texting me during a movie, I'm going to punch you.
Really? You need an excuse to punch me?
No, not really. But, I mean... it's a pretty good excuse, nonetheless.
But obviously, before we continue into something that's going to take a whole heck load of time, which we obviously don't have tonight, we need to start wrapping this up.
Okay.
We'll start giving you details of how to follow us, when we're coming to you next, and the whole chip enchilada.
Okay, so if you're on Facebook, just look us up,
Captain Fizz and the Masked Guy
show
on Facebook. There's a page there. Give it a like. We give information almost daily on what we're going to talk about, what's coming up, and a whole bunch of promotional stuff. Would love to see more.
Okay, and unfortunately, I don't have my phone in front of me. I feel kind of foolish. not having it because, usually that thing is, on my hip. But my personal email, or not email, I'm not giving you guys my email. How dare I? But my Twitter is, you can follow me at ThatMaskGuy. And I believe our Twitter account for the show is
at Fizz Masked Show.
I think it's at Fizz Masked Show.
Yeah.
So that's FIZZ, or for you people in America, ZZMASKEDSHOW.
Because apparently we're the Sesame Street. We're spelling. My partner's drunk. He can't spell masked. Masked. God damn it, that word. But anyways, we're gonna wrap this up. We film or tape, whatever you want to call it now, every Friday night.
Well, maybe. For the time being,
it'll be Friday nights. Probably more when things start rolling up more. We'll post it either that night or first thing Saturday morning. We will be doing live in the future. Maybe not so much in the immediate future because this guy is still nervous and he starts to realize that when we're live, there's no filter and I don't shut up.
Well, you pretty much don't shut up anyways. I can pretty much just go off and let you just talk for half an hour.
Do you honestly realize you've talked more of this show than I have?
I'm not surprised.
That's because you're drunk, but that's besides the point.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't had it that
anyways, final words.
You know what? I really hope you enjoyed the show. I realize that, it's a little muddled up. Of course, this is the first episode. We will do better in the future. Or at least I will try to do better in the future. I can't promise.
I'll still be the same idiot as always.
No kidding. And so all I got left to say is good night, God bless, and may the force be with you.
And all I gotta say, in the words of Bob Barker, don't forget to spay and neuter your kids.
Good night, people.
Good night, everybody.